Maybe they were too focused on impeachment to see what was happening, what Iran was doing to America. I think we should put aside impeachment and have an intel committee that works on intel instead of try to change it to impeachment.
And that's House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy suggesting the situation with Iran could force Congress to put impeachment on the back burner. This as both political parties remain at an impasse over a Senate trial. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he has the votes to create rules for the impeachment trial. He doesn't need the Democrats. Those votes would include hearing the evidence, or the trial would, before voting on whether to call witnesses. McConnell is insisting it is the same process that was used in the Clinton impeachment. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer says it is not apples to apples, though.
To say that they are doing the Clinton rules, I don't think is exactly correct. The situation was certainly different in the Clinton. In this case, the 3 or 4 witnesses under consideration, none of them testified under oath or perhaps testified at all.
Bringing in our power panel now, Kevin McCullough, radio host with Salem Media, Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio host and a Fox News contributor. Great to see you both.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you both. Leslie, are Democrats losing the messaging on all of this? Are they losing their way? Is McCarthy right that Iran's going to put this on the back burner?
Well, quite frankly, Iran should put impeachment on the back burner because I believe, and many in my party believe that as a nation that we need to come together. Iran is not and should not be a political issue. But I've said before that impeachment is not a political issue. The Speaker Pelosi is not going to move forward based on the polls. The House has decided and voted there will be 2 articles of impeachment. She will send them to the Senate, and the Senate will, as we have seen, Leader McConnell will set the rules, and then they will go forward. And I do believe that they will hear from all witnesses, whether it's in stage 1, 2, or 3 of that trial.
Well, it's interesting that we're getting this kind of rhetoric now because when this Congress was empowered in 2018, the Foreign Affairs Committee in the United States Congress did away with their terrorism subcommittee specifically to make room for Trump investigations. So they did away with the terrorism subcommittee on the Foreign Affairs Committee so that they could make room to investigate the president. I think what the last few days have shown is that actually killing terrorists and being careful with our enemies and guarded so that we have strong national security is actually pretty important. And maybe this thing called impeachment that didn't really seem to go anywhere was not.
Can I throw something into the mix? So a senior House Democratic source telling Fox News that if the Speaker, that she will send impeachment articles to the Senate soon. That senior person asking, where is the push? The source indicating that the Speaker could continue to hold off on sending the articles to the Senate for a while, but probably not. Probably soon.
Well, she has always said and continues to maintain once the Senate sets the rules, she will send them over. Now we have Speaker McConnell say, he has the votes, he's ready to move forward, with voting.
So
on
it's time,
the rules
like tomorrow.
It depends. I haven't seen what the rules are. I haven't seen Speaker McConnell come out and say that. And I do think that regardless of this, left or right, and regardless, quite frankly, who's president, you have to pause, take a breath, and say, okay, what is happening with Iran? There have been some actions and some decisions. Give that a moment.
Hold on one second. Despite questions over whether Iran's attack would give the Senate and House pause over if to vote on the war powers resolution would be a good idea that would limit the president's war-making powers, Democrats in both chambers seem undeterred. Watch.
I will get a floor vote on the question of whether we should allow the president to escalate a war against Iran on his own. And I'm going to put every one of the 100 members on the record on that proposition.
The president's actions last week have set off an avalanche of chaos. To that end, the House plans this week to vote on a war powers resolution to reconfirm Congress's long-established oversight responsibilities.
House Minority Whip Steve Scalise hit back, pointing to decades-old legislation sponsored by then-Senator Joe Biden.
I would suggest Speaker Pelosi go back and look at the legislation that then-Senator Joe Biden filed in 1995 to ensure that a president would have the full ability to protect America, especially against terrorists.
Pelosi in the thick of it from now impeachment to war powers, your reaction?
Well, in the summer, we had Ro Khanna and put forth legislation very similar to this. It was passed on a bipartisan level. This is Iran is a different enemy, if you will. I don't think it's wrong, especially when you have some on the right, like Senator Rand Paul in the Senate, who support this and support this action to go forward. And I think this should be done and can be done on a bipartisan level.
All right.
The president said he bombed, he sent the drone in to take out Soleimani to prevent a war. It appears that that's exactly what has happened. All the rest of this is noise. They're talking about things that didn't materialize, that didn't occur. We didn't attack Iran. We didn't get onto their sovereign soil. We hit a terrorist, #1 in the world, on an ally's soil. We had permission to be there. Clean, neat. Couldn't have gone better.
All right. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Good discussion.